So it's sometime before 6:30 in the morning, and I'm at this small train station in a city called Miura, Japan. It's not a big city. As you can see, it's kind of quiet, but there's something really cool here that I can't wait to show you guys. Alright, so this location is Miura, Japan. It's located in Kanagawa Prefecture, and this area is not too far from the Miurakaigan station. Honestly, I recently started seeing this area being pushed on social media, and even on the KQ Train Line's Instagram page, they have a feature for this area. Essentially, there's a walk between the Miurakaigan station and the Miurakaigan station. Don't worry, I'll put a pop-up here so you know what I'm talking about. I honestly think this location might be one of the up-and-coming best spots or favorite spots for people to come and see the Kawazu Sakura. I think the location, the proximity close to Tokyo and Yokohama and so many major cities will make it increasingly popular moving forward, and I think that this area will probably receive a lot more visitors. But I'm just showing you guys a route. Maybe you want to come and visit next year or the year after that, or maybe you just really enjoy viewing the flowers. So whichever it is, I want to share this experience with you. Speaking of sharing the experience, I do want to point out that the sidewalk, although sidewalk is available for the majority of the way, is not always super even, and there's definitely some areas where there are hills or like inclines and whatnot. So if that might be something to consider for you, for safety or other reasons, I would recommend considering that the path is not 100% flat and smooth. I also want to point out that the walk between Miurakaigan station and Miurakaigan is around 2.5 kilometers, not including, I think, if you circle off into the park, which I'm about to show you. So I would recommend being prepared to walk. Actually, on this day when I recorded this video, we walked all the way down to the park, then walked all the way down to Miurakaigan, and then looped around and walked back to Miurakaigan. And the reason for that is the park kind of like takes you off of the main trail, so we wanted to make sure to include the full main trail in the video. All of this will make sense because I'm going to try and include some visual aids so it'll clarify it for you. As you can see, it's not crowded when I am sharing this video. As the video progresses, it becomes more and more crowded. So my recommendation is to show up early, probably sometime around 6:30 in the morning might be a good time to get started. In addition to starting early, I recommend you make the brief detour following the lanterns to the Komatsugaike park area. This area is something I recently learned about, although it is actually locally well known. There's a local legend in regards to this area, which I'd like to read to you, but just keep in mind I don't own the story. It was posted by the city of Miura. I think I'm ready. This large marsh is called either Komatsugaike or Omatsugaike. A tale is told about the area and the villagers from a long time ago concerning the marsh. Once upon a time, when this area was still divided into many small rice fields, there was a hard-working wife by the name of Omatsu, who worked diligently planting rice. Omatsu's spiteful mother-in-law demanded Omatsu to work in the field planting rice, which was an impossible task for her to do all alone. Already the sun was starting to set in the west, but Omatsu was not yet finished planting the rice. The perplexed Omatsu looked up at the sky and wailed, "If I just had another hour, I could finish the rice planting." Then something strange happened. Suddenly, the sun that had begun starting to set in the west rose high in the sky back to the east. Thanks to this, Omatsu was able to finish all the rice planting. After that, however, the entire area became a deep, muddy marsh, and Omatsu was swallowed up in all the water. After that, heavy rain continued the rest of the year. And so this whole area that you see became this large marsh. Not gonna lie, I did the voiceover for the story portion one too many times, so I know I stuttered a little bit, but I am not redoing it. So carrying on, this is the loop around. Once you've gone to the marsh that we just talked about, you can follow the path around and go back to the main road where all the sakura are. I think it's worthwhile to go through the marsh area because of the view here. It's really beautiful, and it connects you back with all of the flowers pretty easily. The other thing is that during the time when the kawazu sakura are blooming, they have road guards that are directing traffic during the busier hours of the day to make sure that you know where you're going if you're there as a tourist, and to protect motorists and pedestrians from, collisions or anything dangerous. And then this area right here is the Miurakaigan station. This is where the majority of the festival booths and everything are. So this area is probably where you would want to go if you want to buy a souvenir, as well as look at these pretty pink lanterns they included. Most of the stalls don't really open until a little bit later in the morning. I want to say maybe around 9 or 10 everything started to open. Speaking of vendors, I actually bought a little trinket from this booth over here. I'll go ahead and insert the name so that you know the name of her business. The lady who was the owner of that business was very, very sweet. She gave us a map and she recommended that we go ahead and loop back towards Misakiguchi Station so we don't miss any of the flowers that are blooming. The trail between the two stations could be either direct route, or you could take a detour if you go by the pond area that we talked about earlier in the video. So if you want to include the full thing, it might be worthwhile to walk all the way down and back, and that's what we did, and that's why we did it. So if you remember when I started the video, how quiet it was and how there wasn't a lot of people around, and then just look at the difference now. Me and my friend have been shooting for a while, and since we started around 6 something, it's become extremely crowded. And then after all of the walking, we all worked up an appetite, so we stopped at Mito Cafe. I'll link them in the description. I love this place. I definitely recommend to anyone in the area. And if you got anything useful from this video and you feel that you can apply it in any way, or you just found it entertaining, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Especially subscribing helps this channel grow tremendously. And I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye!